your first experience with Qigong, then just to give you a little bit of a background, it dates back 3,500 to 5,000 years, and it originated in China. It's a mind, body, spirit practice that combines gentle movement, meditation, and breathing to promote optimum health and wellness. So it's really about taking control of your own well-being.
Yeah, it's really neat because you feel like.
And then before Julie and I get into her reading the oracle cards and me doing meditation and Qigong and so on, we wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about what's going on in the world, how we feel about it, what can we do to regain control versus simply feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on. So Julie, do you want to start?
Sure. So some of the things I'm doing is trying to get outside as much as possible. Luckily, I have dogs, so it kind of forces me to be outside and to walk. And I'm feeling a big need right now to ground myself. So I'm going outside and like lying down. I've been lying down in the grass, just sitting down on the ground has really helped to center me. When the sun is out, I feel much more nourished and I feel just like that replenishment. Especially if you're someone who gives a lot, or if you're empathic like I am, we can be very depleted, especially this time. If you have to go to the grocery store and you're around others, the energy is very intense and heavy right now. I cried both times when I came home from the grocery store because I felt so much fear and anxiety from others, and it wasn't even my own. So if you are empathic, that it is easy to absorb those kinds of energies, and it's really important when you come back to remind you what is true and what is real for you, and to look around at what you have. You have a house, you have food to eat, you have clothes, you have your family, you have your health. All the things that we have is what we need to focus on right now, and to release any kind of fear, anxiety of what's to come, because we don't have complete control of what's next. We don't know when the pandemic is going to end. And even myself as, intuitive and, having psychic abilities, I don't know exactly when it's going to end, because there's so many factors and so many players in it that it's very hard to predict. But all we can do is protect ourselves as best as we can. You can also use crystals. I use black tourmaline is a big one right now. This is an example of black tourmaline, and it helps to repel any kind of negative energies. This one, the black obsidian, is as well. And then you can use crystals like rose quartz to bring you back to a place of love. And I carry them in my purse. I have jewelry, I wear them. So I have things with me, on me, like my earrings are rose quartz. So crystals can be very helpful for grounding and bringing you back to a place of love. Also, I use sage, which looks like this, like little bundles of sage. And I light it and I release energy that doesn't serve me. And I just go through my body and I say, release any energy that does not serve. And then I surround myself with God's love and light. And I feel it through my heart. I feel myself being cleansed, and I picture all the energies like coming out of me, any kind of energy that doesn't serve. And then I ask God to surround me with a pink bubble of protection around me. So those are the things I do to protect myself energetically. And then of course, physically, we know exercise, eating well, sleeping, getting a good night's sleep, all those things that we've been told before. So those are the things I've been doing to keep myself healthier, and also staying off of social media that is negative, and reading all those articles. Like people are sending me these articles and I'm just like, I'm not even going to read this stuff anymore, because it's just, you don't know who the author is and what their intentions are, what their, motives are for writing whatever they're writing. So I listen to my intuition above all else. If I am healthy, I'm going to listen to all the guidelines. I'm going to listen to the governor. I'm going to listen to, the public officials who tell us to stay home. So that's what I'm doing. And use your common sense, don't do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable and that your intuition tells you not to do. So those are my main tips for staying healthy right now.
So in addition to what Julie said, definitely good advice. And I saged myself and this space before I came on here today too. So one thing that's super important is keeping a routine. I don't know about you, but I have been sitting a lot more. I'm not waking up at the same time. So in terms of keeping a routine, waking up at the same time, if that works for you, still acting like you are getting ready to go to work or something. So brushing your teeth, showering, making breakfast, tea, coffee, whatever, and changing your clothes. So not just like staying all day in your PJs or the clothes you wore for the day before. You can get this renewed, fresh energy by changing your clothes, and then of course feeling and being clean too. And as Julie said, movement. So I'm moving less than normal, and I feel the difference in a negative way. One of my coworkers and I, we would always take 35-minute walks around the hospital every day at work. And now that we are not allowed to be at work for the time being, we are talking on the phone in our own respective neighborhoods, taking a walk while we still can do that. And again, hopefully we can still do that while keeping our physical distance from other people, but adapting, making it work with the situations that we have. Also, keeping your mindset and your focus in check. It is super easy to ruminate about all the crap that's happening in the world. Some of it affects us, some of it doesn't. But how do we keep our minds on the things that we can control, like turning off social media or turning off the news every now and again? You don't need to be constantly connected because the message, unfortunately, has been the same, and things aren't great at the moment. Focusing on what you can control, like taking a deep breath, keeping that routine, moving around, practice gratitude. So there is something called neuroplasticity, and that's the brain's ability to reshape their neural connections, reshape and develop new neural connections. So thinking about something that you feel grateful for, in addition to embodying the emotions that are associated with that. So say, for example, you feel really grateful for the warmth that the sun provides. When you feel it on your skin, and the emotion of how happy that makes you. So where do you feel that in your body? When you're happy, do you feel like a warmth in your chest or something, or however it manifests? So the thing that you feel grateful for, the paired emotion, that's really gonna help rewire your brain. But doing this every day for at least 21 days, 3 things, will start to change the structure of your brain. And if you keep up a habit, for better or worse, every day for 6 months, it turns into a habit. So let's use the power of our brain for good, in that we can change the structure of our brain based on what we're focusing on. So let's make it good stuff. Practicing the emotions that you want to experience, especially in times of crises. People will fall back on their most practiced state of being. You'll default to the emotional response you practice the most. That could be anger. It could be sadness. It could be, despair. But alternatively, it could be, okay, what's the opportunity here? How can I help myself? How can I help other people? How can I help the community? Using it as an opportunity to practice resilience, or maybe to learn something different. So there are a lot of things that we can do. And continuing with that list, of course, Qigong is on one of them, and we will do about 15 minutes in a little bit. Meditation is another great resource. So I offer weekly guided meditations on my YouTube channel on Mondays. And in light of everything that's going on, I added a medical Qigong to support lung health this past Monday. And of course, there are a ton of other free meditations online, and you've got various apps to use, like the Calm app. The free version will give you 1 10-minute meditation, a different one every day. There is another practice called EFT, or emotional freedom technique. So that's tapping various spots to release the stagnation, or to help the chi or the energy to move. My favorite EFT person is Brad Yates. He has a ton of free content. Last name Yates. And I checked his channel this morning, and he added more videos about how to deal with the quarantine in terms of isolation. So there are always things that we can do, whether or not we're are allowed to physically be around other people. And using this as an opportunity to reevaluate what's important. It could be what you're spending your time on, your relationship with others, being grateful for your basic needs, like Julie said. We have access to water and, you know, enough toilet paper for everybody, and food and shelter. So we are thinking on it in terms of basic needs. We still have a lot going for us.
Can I add something to that, Sarah?
Absolutely.
So the other day I was at the grocery store and I was checking out, and I had a lot of anxiety about meat. And I knew that that was something that people have been buying a lot. So, and I feel anxiety just talking about it right now. But as I was checking out, I had like an intuitive hit that we were about to be rationed. And I was like, oh my God, this might be the last time that I'm able to buy meat without being rationed. And I came home and I was totally freaked out, and my mind was spinning, my ego was freaking out. And then I realized that if it does come to rationing, that it's really because of the public's reaction to what's going on, not that there's actually a shortage that we need to ration for. So it's really in response to the public and how they are treating things and how they are overreacting and the panic that is causing the shelves in the grocery store to be emptied. But it's not reality that we are actually a shortage of those items. So that helped me to kind of put in perspective like what's real and what's true, and to remind myself to come back to my knowing and my intuition that says I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm supported, I have everything I need right now to survive. If I run out of toilet paper, like I go camp, like I go camping, like we don't use toilet paper in the woods, it's not that big a deal. And how many other things could you use, like a piece of clothing or whatever, but my point is like just to come back to yourself rather than observing others' reactions. And sometimes on social media people are well-meaning, but they're like, everybody go to the store right now, and then everyone freaks out, and it's really not necessary. It's like, come back to yourself, come back to your own knowing. Do you have everything you need right now? You are safe, you are loved, you are supported, and you always will be. If that is your affirmation for yourself and that's your belief, then it will be true for you. So I just wanted to add that piece in there.
Yeah, thank you. One last thing in terms of tips before I extend it to you all, and you can feel free to write down things in the comments in the chat, what you find is helpful. Using this as an opportunity to bond with your community, to bond with people who need more support during this time. I mean, the average person, yes, definitely needs support. This is something that we've never experienced before. But also thinking about those more at-risk people, like the people who are over 65, people who have comorbidities, maybe those people who relied on going to work for socialization, people who have, say, depression, and where isolation is worse for their mental health. So they really need support more than ever. Family, friends who live alone, just we all need some more support. So in terms of just thinking about how the situation is affecting you, thinking about how can you help to ease the burden at least a little bit for somebody else, even if it's simply asking them, like, how are you? Like, how are you really? And what can we do to help support one another? All right, so now to go to the chats. All right, let's see. If there's anything anybody has been, if you've been helped in any way, or if you found that something has really worked for you, please feel free to enter it. And Julie, if you see any comments, if you wouldn't mind just reading them out loud.
Sure.
Yeah, so the question is, I'm curious what you all have found helpful in this time. So have you been able to support someone in a specific way that's been beneficial, or has somebody helped you? So you can either write it down, or if you are unmuted, you can feel free to say that out loud.
I also have another suggestion for helping others. So you don't have to be in person to help others. Setting the intention that others are well. So if you have someone, an older, an elderly relative or someone who is immune compromised, you can set the intention to send them love and for them to be healthy instead of being fearful that they're going to get sick. Visualize them being healthy, being happy, being content, being safe in their home, having everything they need. So sending that, like I can just saying those words, I feel tons of love like flowing from me. And like I'm thinking of my mom right now. So she's somebody that I want to make sure has everything she needs. So if I just set the intention that she does and I send her love like through my energy, she receives that and that helps her to stay well too. So you don't have to physically do something or be in person with somebody to send them that protection and that love. So just know that you can do that too. It's the same thing as sending prayers. Michelle said, I do free meditations, try to keep a bit of structure, get outside, get in touch with my energy and what's coming up from the world. That's awesome, Michelle. I love that. Such good techniques, definitely.
And if anything pops up that maybe you don't want to share now or nothing's coming up for you at the moment, feel free to type it in the chat later and we can certainly come back to that.
And I also would say to try to avoid getting into any kind of disagreements over social media. And if you see someone who is in pain, just acknowledge that that's where they are right now. And I know myself, I'm a very positive person. And when I reach out to people and show them or tell them that everything's gonna be okay, sometimes they don't want to receive that. And they can have the opposite effect. So just be careful with your words right now. People are very sensitive and very emotional. So avoid getting into disagreements over social media if you can. Just send love to them energetically. You don't need to physically engage them if they're in a really dark place and you feel like they're not open to receiving help. If they are, you can, give them a message, but if they're just trying to argue and be upset or sorry for themselves, they have to work that out on their own and you can just send them love. Leanne said that Zoom has been a blessing. Virtual happy hours and chats with friends has been really great. Yes, we have one in the Eldersburg and Sykesville Moms group. That was so much fun. We have also done grocery shopping for neighbors, and helping others definitely relieve some of my anxiety about all of this. Yes, that feels so good to help somebody else and to know that you are healthy and strong and you are capable or you have a car that you can drive to the store and serve somebody else in that way. So that is such a good tip, Leanne.
Yeah, even in the midst of all the chaos, there's always something to find to be grateful for. Alrighty, so we will go ahead and get started on our next part. I'm going to do about 5-minute breath awareness meditation. So if you are seated, it looks like some of you are. If you put your feet flat on the floor, lift your shoulders up and down. You can have your tailbone slightly tucked if that feels right for you where you're sitting. Gently close your eyes. Bring your attention to your lower belly. The purpose of our breath awareness meditation today is to bring yourself into the present moment, to kind of disrupt that monkey mind pattern of overthinking. So focusing on your lower belly, taking this slow, deep breath, and slow exhale. As you inhale, feeling your belly rise. And exhale, sinking back in toward the spine. As we go through this over the next several minutes, if you find yourself getting distracted, on the in-breath, you can mentally say inhale. And on the out-breath, exhale. Few more breaths at the belly. One more belly breath. And now bring your focus to your nose. So you can inhale and exhale through the nose, feeling the difference in sensations. Even as we focus on the nose, the breath is still coming from the lower belly. One more breath through the nose. And now shift your attention to your mouth. So you can inhale and exhale through the mouth as that feels comfortable. And again, noticing the changes and sensations at this area. One more breath, focused on the mouth and the throat. And now shift your focus to your back. We don't often think about the back when we're thinking about our breathing. Feeling it expand on the inhale. And sink back down on the exhale. And again, if you need to come back to your anchor of inhale and exhale. Few more breaths. One last breath, focused on the back. And once again, bring your attention to your lower belly. We're going to focus on an area called the lower dantian, which is about 3 or so finger widths below the belly button, in the center of your body, just in front of the spine. This is also called the reservoir of qi, or the storage container for energy. When the body starts to feel depleted, it pulls from this area first. So we always want to be mindful of this space, the lower dantian. Several more slow, deep breaths. Take one final breath into the lower belly. And at the end of that exhale, you can slowly open your eyes. So I hope you all are feeling at least a little bit more relaxed than even 5 minutes ago. And then Julie, when you're ready, I know it's time to pull spirit cards.
Okay, awesome. I have a window open, so I'm going to close that real quick before we start because I am really chilly right now. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am going to pull some oracle cards and I'm just going to listen to see what Spirit has to say. And these messages are going to be for anybody watching now or later on the replay. We are recording this. So that's my intention, that I get messages for anyone watching that can receive them for their highest and greatest good. So I will start. Let's see. All right. Angels, guides, ascended masters, what do we need to know for our highest and greatest good? What do we need to know for highest and greatest good? We need to let go of for our highest and greatest good. All right. So our first one here is surrender the desire to control people. So this makes perfect sense for what's going on right now, because I feel like people are trying to tell others what to do in this crisis situation. They're saying, stay home, do this, don't do this, go here. Everybody's trying to tell everybody else what to do, but ultimately we have to listen to ourselves and what we feel is best. And of course, you know, we listen to officials and things like that, but you can't force others to do anything. When you try to force them, it's like trying to teach it or trying to force a kid to do something they don't want to do. So they will resist. So resist the temptation to try to tell other people what to do right now, to control them, to control their actions in any way. This one, surrender stress, which is what we just did with Sarah here with the meditation. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. So, you know, people often say, I don't have time to meditate, or I don't know how to meditate. You know, my mind spins so much when I try to meditate. You just need to take a deep breath. You know, you can do that at any time, any day. You just just stop what you're doing, take a deep breath, and you know, that will help to release some of that stress. And just to like slow the heart rate down, you just stop, you just take a deep breath, release some of that tension that you built up in your body, and come back to your center. And then we have surrender to the wisdom of your body. And it says, listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. So this is what I was talking about earlier with listening to your intuition. If something feels like something you shouldn't do, don't do it right now. If something feels like it doesn't feel good to watch something or to listen to something, listen to your intuition, turn it off, distract yourself in a way that brings you out of that negative feeling. And when you feel that lower vibrational, the fearful, you know, worry, anxiety, when you're in that lower place, it's just your indicator that you are separate from alignment at that moment, and you are believing something that's not true, because only love is true. Fear is an illusion and love is true. So bring yourself back to that place of love, back to the knowing that all is well, all will be well, and you will feel renewed. I did want to open it up. If anybody wants to ask a question that they'd like Spirit to answer, you're welcome to put it in the chat. If you want me to pull a card for you, I can do that. We have a couple minutes to do that. So I will look in the chats on the side. If anybody wants me to pull a message from Spirit for them or has a specific question, you're welcome to do that now in the chat. Okay, if nobody requests an individual message, then I am going to tap in and ask what Spirit wants me to tell the group as a whole. All right, Michelle. Okay, I'll do Michelle first. All right, so let's see, Michelle. Okay. Michelle Steiner. Angels, guides, ascending masters, what does Michelle need to let go of for her highest and greatest good this time? Michelle Steiner. What does Michelle need to let go of for her highest and greatest good at this time? Michelle Steiner. What does Michelle need to let go of her highest and greatest good? Okay. All right, Michelle, you got surrender to prayer. It says, give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and answers and support will arrive. So I'm going to ask what they want you to know about this. Okay, so they're saying to connect to your departed loved ones that you were close to. I'm feeling like a grandmother energy, some kind of maternal energy, to call on her right now to help you with the anxiety and the fear that is coming right now. I feel like she's closely connected to you, so tapping into her energy and just feeling her embrace and her warmth is going to help carry you through this. And you can pray to, you know, God, any higher being, but I think for you, connecting to someone that you knew and loved in the physical is going to help you. And you'll be able to feel her energy around you. And they're saying again, all is well, all will be well. So it's that same message. They want everybody to know all is well, all will be well. Keep saying that to yourself. All is well. I'm safe. I'm loved. I'm supported. Okay, Lori. Is that Lori Doe, my friend Lori? I think it is. I felt your energy when you came on, Lori. Lori is so awesome. Okay, Lori. Angels, guides, ascended masters, what does Lori do? Need to know for her highest and greatest good. This one wants to come out. Okay. All right, Lori, you got surrender your need to always be right. It says, give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. So I feel like this goes with that card we saw earlier for the group, surrender your desire to control others. So, you know, right now we're in close quarters with our loved ones. So I feel like there might be some butting of heads and some, you know, like people, you're thinking people aren't taking this seriously enough, or trying to get them to see things your way and being too set on like, this is the way it is, this is what's happening. And the other person is coming from their perspective and their life experience. So they might see it differently than you. So releasing your desire to control how somebody else is reacting right now, how they're feeling, what they're doing with this extra time is really none of our business. Like, come back to yourself, come back to what you need to do to feel better yourself, and release your desire to influence anybody else in what their choices are at this time. All right, Barb. How are we doing on time, Sarah? Are we okay?
Yep, we're still good.
Okay. Okay, we'll do Barb. What's your name? Barb Moore. Okay, Barb. What does Barb need to know right now for her highest and greatest good? Barb Moore. What does Barb need to know? Barb Moore. What does Barb need to know for her highest and greatest good? What does Barb need to know? Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. So I'm going to ask them what they want you to know about this. Barb, I feel like this is in relation to not being sure like how to act right now, like not being sure if it's okay to leave your house to get groceries, or not, you know, going outside or being around anybody at all, like being fearful and just not knowing how to act, and you know, maybe watching too much of the news or getting sucked into others' emotions right now. And it's really about tapping into your own body and your own intuition and listening and doing what feels right to you at this time. If somebody's been draining to you, like maybe you have a friend who keeps calling you and is worried, like I see people like kind of like putting things in your face, like read this, do this, like talk about this, and that is draining you. If it is, it's okay to step back from that friendship, that relationship, put up your boundaries. Know that if somebody's draining you and taking your energy, then they do not deserve to be in your energy, and you need to take a step back. So I think that that might be going on. Listen to yourself, come back to your own knowing and what is okay for you at this time and what's not. You're welcome, Laurie. Yay, Laurie. I hope that was helpful, Barb. Michelle Bacon. Okay, Michelle is next. Oh, I'm so glad, Barb. Barb said that spoke volumes to me. Yay, I felt lots of chills when I was reading yours. So that's my confirmation from Spirit. Okay, we'll do Michelle Bacon. What does Michelle Bacon need to know for her highest and greatest good right now? What does Michelle Bacon need to know for her highest? Okay. All right, you got surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. So I'm going to ask them what they want you to know about this. I feel a lot of worry around you, Michelle. Like you're worried about others right now and you want to uplift them, but you're doing it kind of at the expense of your own energy. And like putting on a happy face, even if that's not really how you feel, and not really being true to how you're feeling and allowing others to assist you and support you, because this is hard on all of us. And we can't just always be happy, and we can't always just give to everybody else without receiving. So give yourself permission. Like if you feel like crying or you feel like this is too much, like go in, like go, take a nap, go inside to yourself and just do what you need to do to replenish yourself, and don't feel like you always need to do everything for everybody else. Like I feel like you have a family and you're doing a lot to keep the kids busy, or trying to entertain, trying to fill their time, stick to your schedule. Like putting too much pressure on yourself right now when you are going through it too. And don't forget that you need the same kind of rest and rejuvenation that everybody else needs. Okay. Anybody else? Lindsay? Okay. Oh, and Anthony. Okay. I'll do two more. We'll do Anthony and then Lindsay, and then we'll move on to Sarah's Qigong. Okay, so we're going to go to Anthony. All right, Anthony, what does Anthony need to know for his highest and greatest good at this time, Anthony? What does Anthony need to know for his highest and greatest good? It's so interesting that we're getting cards from the collective group that are coming back up. So that's confirmation that these cards were really for everybody, but especially for the people that are asking for individual messages. So Anthony got surrender stress as well. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. I'm going to ask what they want you to know about this. Okay, I'm feeling worry over finances, feeling burdened, and my throat hurts. Like, I think you're not speaking up about how you feel right now, like trying to take on too much responsibility for everybody else, and just like really being worried and not feeling good about just this uncertainty of what's happening, and not sure what's going to happen next for your family, or just concern in general. And let me ask how to release this. I see you sitting outside in nature, and I see you like sitting in kind of a meditation pose. So I don't know if you meditate, but they're showing me you like sitting on the ground outside in the sun, meditating and just being quiet. And that is when you're going to receive your relief, and also can get some messages from spirit as to what you can do going forward to not worry so much. They can speak to you when you're quiet. So they just want you to be quiet more often, and to sit in that quiet state. You don't even have to do any kind of specific meditation. Just sitting outside on the ground can be really cleansing for you, and can help to open you up to receive more divine guidance for how to stop with the worries. Okay, and Lindsay, I'm gonna take some water. What does Lindsay need to know for her highest and greatest good? Surrender stubbornness. It says, if you're tensing up and taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Okay, I'm going to ask what this is about. I think that stubbornness is about how you see yourself more than it is how you relate to others. Like you are limiting yourself and your own potential based on what you've already done, and just thinking like, well, I've done this and this has happened, and expecting the outcome always to be the same because that's how it's always been. But they want you to release that and to see yourself as like the powerful, like smart, like just impactful person that you are, and that is within you, that you just have to let come out, and to stop seeing yourself as the way you've always been, and to realize like what a leader you are. I feel like you don't totally know how impactful you are as a leader, and I know you from health and fitness, but I feel like you don't completely own your power yet. You don't totally know what you're capable of. let me ask them how to get to that. Okay, so they're showing me you running around with the kids. So I feel like you felt torn between children and work, and split energy is going on. And they're saying to use this time right now that you have to focus in one place at a time. So wherever you are, be totally present. Like they say, wherever you are, be all there. So they want you to be more in the moment, like when you're with your kids, really feel what it's like to observe them and to see them playing and to see them laughing and having fun, and be there. Don't be thinking about work when you're there. And then when you're working, you have permission to be fully there too. So just to work on being more present, and to use the time we have right now to really sort through what you want for yourself, what you want your life to look like, and to know that you are a strong leader. And you have a lot to offer others. So don't be held back to what you've done already, because there's a lot more to unfold for you. You're welcome. I love you, Lindsay. You're so awesome. You're definitely a leader and an inspiration to me. So, hey, awesome. So I think we're going to move on to Sarah's Qigong moves next.
All right. Thank you, Julie.
Yep.
All right, so if you have space around you, you can stand up. And we're going to do some Qigong moves specifically to boost your immunity and to help with stress reduction and relaxation. So our very basic posture is called wuji. So our feet are about hip distance apart. The pelvis is tucked to help support the spine. Shoulders lifted and relaxed. Your knees are slightly bent, so you want to have kind of a bounce there. And then your hands are over your lower belly, interlock. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your belly. Bring your breath to your belly. And again, we sink into the present moment. Feeling your belly expand on the inhale. And soften on the exhale. Now taking a breath or two to set your intention. And that could just be being totally open, or at least a little bit open, to something that may be new to you. One more deep breath. The end of that exhale, open your eyes, release your hands. We move right into the next one, which is literally just called shake it out or shake the tree. So you're going to shake and move however best feels for you. Yes, this looks goofy and it feels goofy, but it is actually healing. Athletes will do this to get rid of the cortisol buildup. Wild animals will do this after they've been chased. So this is a nice, good detox, purge, release. This drains the lymph nodes. And if you feel like you need an extra release, make these audible sighs. It's extra purging and detoxifying like this. Two more. Last breath. Coming back to stillness, closing your eyes again. Just noticing any movement or any subtle sensations that have arisen. Could be heat or tingling or buzzing or anything else. Just another breath. And again, open your eyes. With soft fists, you're going to do the Tarzan moves. You're knocking on the chest and the sternum, purging energy from the lungs. You can do it with both hands. You can do it one hand at a time. You can do it hard, soft, in between. You're the expert on your body, so just pay attention to what feels right for you. If you have more to release from the lungs, you can use a bit harder pressure if that feels okay for your body. There's an acupressure point underneath the collarbone, closer to the shoulder, where I'm tapping now. It's called letting go. So knocking on this point, what is it that you can let go of? Another breath, let go. Release. Now with the fingertips, we are going to dig the fingertips into the sternum here. You're getting a lot of pressure points. We tend to hold nervousness, tension, and anxiety along the sternum. So digging the fingertips in. If you notice any discomfort or tenderness, that's a sign that the energy is not flowing as well as it could in that area. Another breath at the sternum. And now you're going to place your hands along your sternum until you feel a dip. So it's going to be the spot that is the lowest in the center of the breastbone or the chest plate. Relax the shoulders. You can especially dig the middle fingers into this space. Close the eyes. You can reset your Wuji posture, pelvis tucked, knees slightly bent, shoulders down. And you're applying steady pressure into this space. It's called CV17 or conception vessel 17. So it's really great for regulating AFib or heart rate, shortness of breath, chest tightness, anxiety. A few more deep breaths. Two more. Last one, shoulders down. And slowly release the pressure of that point. And you can shake it out again, just for a breath. All right, the next move is also about reducing chest tightness, anxiety, shortness of breath. And the move we're going to do, you're going to place your right hand at chest level. The left hand presses forward as the right hand comes back. And this is what it looks like to the side. Shoulders are relaxed and down. They tend to come up in this position, so just be mindful of that. And now we're going to switch. So it's like you're pressing a ball off the left hand as the right hand comes forward. So inhale, twist, looking to the side. And exhale, switch sides. Smooth inhale. And exhale. If you want an even deeper switch, you can try to look all the way behind you. And as always, this is your practice, so don't feel like you have to match me specifically. One more time, both sides. Both hands press forward and float down, moving right into our lung polishing move. Inhale up. Exhale like a column of light, just coming down through your head into your belly. Slowly squat, pressing both hands out to the sides as you lift back up. So your fingertips are face forward, shoulders are down, palms out to the side. You're going to feel the stretch in the tendons, the arms, and the hands here. Sink back down to sweep the hands to the center. Bring that column of white light up into the lungs. Flat palms. So we repeat those moves. So exhale down. Inhale out to the side. Exhale, squat down or bend down. And inhale, bring that bright white light up into the lungs. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale down. Inhale, white light up into the lungs. This is helping to strengthen or tonify the energy of the lungs. Feeling that nice flow. And we'll do one more, ending with the hands face up. And last part. Exhale, hands float down. We're going to hinge forward. We're going to cross the hands, the wrists. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, both palms face away. Hinging forward to the start. Inhale up. And exhale down. This is a basic protection move. And it's about protecting our energy. And that could be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Like if you were around energy vampires, you just feel depleted after being around these people. This is a really good one to do, especially when we add the visualization on the next breath. So as you inhale, bring the hands up like you're lifting up this white mist up from the ground over your head. And exhale that energy down all the way around you like this protective shield or bubble. Inhale, white mist up and over your head. And exhale down. Let's do several more on our own. And you can always close your eyes if that helps. Few more. Two more times. Last one, nice and slow. Coming back up, if you need to shake it out in between moves. And for our next move, you're going to put your feet a little bit wider apart than our normal Wuji posture. And this move is called Repulse the Monkey. Monkey is in the monkey mind. So this one is really, really good for overthinking, for ruminating, for worry, anxiety. So you're going to place your right hand out. The left hand starts at the shoulder and sweeps down over and passing through the pinky. And you switch sides. So starting from the shoulder, down the inside of the arm, out to the pinky. You can either hover over, as I'm doing, or if it feels better for you to physically connect, you can run the hand down the arm to the palm and release. So you'll see a slight swivel in your hips here. And for our breath, you simply inhale one side and exhale to switch. Shoulders are relaxed. If you want more of a twist in your hips, if that feels better, you can come out to the side. Let's do a few more. After this one more time, both sides. Hands come back to the center, float down. Inhale, lift up. We're gonna bring the palms together here. This is our yin massage, a relaxing practice. The hands sweep behind the back of the head, coming around to the throat. We run the hands down the throat a few times. The backs of the hands come together down the center of the chest, coming around to the kidneys, like the energy batteries of the body, the kidneys. And if you need to, you can step a little bit wider apart here. Bringing the hands down to the outside of the legs, sweeping over the toes, and then coming back up the inside of the legs, one hand on top of the other. Clockwise circles into the belly. So bringing energy into our dantian, a reservoir of qi. Inhale up, palms together. Exhale, hands behind the back of the head, sweeping down the throat. Take one deep breath. Descending the energy from the head down into the chest. Backs of the hands down the center of the chest, bringing the energy now into the kidneys, rubbing the kidneys. Exhaling, rubbing the hands down the outside of the legs, sweeping around. Inhale up. One hand on top of the other, clockwise circles into the belly. Again, bringing the energy into the lower dantian. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Palms together, exhale down. One full breath. Backs of the palms down the chest. Rejuvenating the kidneys, bringing energy into the back. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale into the belly. And this last one we'll do on our own. Bring the feet back into our normal Wu Ji, feet hip distance apart. Again, tucking the pelvis. We're gonna do a double-handed clearing move, single-handed clearing move. The left hand is at the lower belly, the right hand sweeps up and comes down the center. It's a quick breath practice to balance our energy. Inhale up and exhale down. If you'd like to add a visualization, you can inhale and imagine that you're gathering this white healing mist, and exhaling it, bringing it down through the head, the heart, and into the body. Inhale, gather white mist, healing energy, and exhaling it, bringing it down through the head, heart, and into the chest and belly. A few more. One more time, both sides. Last time. Last move, both hands on the belly. You can either put your feet together, or if you want, you can leave a little bit of space in between. Our last move is called bamboo in the wind. So for this move, you are rocking and swaying back and forth, side to side, wherever your body naturally wants to fall. If you close your eyes, you'll get more of a balanced test. And if you keep your eyes open, just maintain a soft gaze in front of you. Breath is still in the lower belly. Simply giving in to the energy wherever it wants to take you physically. Bamboo is incredibly strong, but if it doesn't bend when the wind blows, it breaks. So how do we embody this incredible strength while also being adaptable and flexible in life? A few more breaths. Shoulders relaxed. And now coming back to stillness. Taking a breath into the lower belly. One last belly breath to close out our practice. And at the end of that exhale, you can slowly open your eyes. And thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you feel at least a little better than when we started. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. That was amazing. I feel so relaxed and peaceful. Thank you. So I just wanted to do one more card for messages from Spirit for everybody. What can we take with us going forward from today's practice and everything that we've discussed today and learned? So I'm going to pull a card from here. I don't need to take a minute to get connected because I'm already connected from Sarah. So thank you. Feeling super relaxed and peaceful. All right. Angels, guides, ascended masters, what do we need to know for highest and greatest good today? Messages for highest and greatest good. Messages for highest and greatest good. All right, we got Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibility. I'm going to read the message from the book because they are so good. And I just want to read this passage to you. Let's see. Okay. Stretched out on the beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out toward the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility? Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, Starfish Spirit urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things and imagine with even greater hope and faith. For miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that Starfish Spirit has come to remind you of your infinite potential. When cynicism says no, Starfish Spirit says yes 1,000 times over. Are you willing to entertain new possibilities? Are you limiting your goals in order to be realistic and cutting yourself off from the power of dreaming big? Let go of your rigid beliefs about what is possible for you, and let Starfish Spirit inspire you to open your heart and your eyes to what Spirit has available for you. Now is the time to stretch beyond the familiar and unfurl yourself, for you are meant for more than you are imagining for yourself. Spirit wants the best for you and will support you in achieving whatever intention you hold dear. So I feel like this is the perfect message for us. You know, we're forced to look at things differently. Our world is changing. We all have a new normal, and the possibilities are limitless. And instead of feeling trapped and scared, we can just realize that the world is open to us, and so much benefit is going to come from this crisis. So much good is going to come. People are going to come together. People are going to explore talents that they never would have explored before. People are going to be in touch with different kinds of people that they never would have interacted with had this not happened. So just open yourself up to the limitless potential that is available for you, for your family, for your career, for your future, everything. You know, just be open, and you will have a beautiful future past all of this. We all will. So that's what I wanted to share, and just some closing messages from Sarah and myself, you know, where you can find us. I am on juliegoetzinger.com. You can find me on my website. Also, Julie Goetzinger, Intuitive and Spiritual Teacher, is my Facebook page. And I am starting a women's virtual support group. We're starting on Monday, April 6th, and it will be over Zoom, and it is $40 to drop in for a session if you just want to come in and test it out. If you want to be with us all month, it's $99 for the month. And we're going to be doing messages from Spirit. I'll do group messages, individual messages. I'm going to lead you in meditation. And we're also going to have open time just to share what's on our hearts, you know, to be, received without judgment, just to have a safe space where we can really express how we're feeling right now. It's going to be Mondays at 8 p.m. And you're welcome to invite anybody you think could use this extra support right now. I'm also doing readings over the phone. So if you want to connect with a departed loved one, I am a medium as well. So I can connect you with departed loved ones. I do, intuitive readings. I also do coaching. So often in our readings, it comes up areas that are in need of healing, things that you need to release or blocks you're experiencing. And during my coaching, I help people to work through those blocks. I do Reiki sessions on them. And I also give them some tangible steps, like what can they really do, you know, in their lives to move past what's been holding them back, and to identify those patterns of, just repeating things that are stopping you from what you want in your life. So that's what we do in my coaching sessions. And I also do tarot parties. And once all this mess is behind us, that you can get together with your friends again, and I can do group readings. I will meet with people one-on-one, 15-minute readings at your home, and you all can split the cost of that. And I'm doing a special right now for $50 off the total cost of your tarot party if you book it by the end of March. And of course, we're not doing in-person meetings for a while, so people are booking into the fall right now. So I've got like summer and fall bookings for that. So if that interests you, you can reach out to me, Julie at juliegetzinger.com, or you can find me on Facebook or my website, juliegetzinger.com. So Sarah, where can people find you?
Yeah, thank you, Julie. You've got a lot going on.
Yeah, I always do.
Yeah, definitely. So you all can find me on my website, which is www.qigong.com. So qigonghw.com. And you can access my Facebook page, my Instagram, and my YouTube channel there. And like I said, I'm doing weekly guided meditations on Mondays through YouTube, but they're also on my Facebook, my Facebook and my website. I'm still doing medical Qigong sessions. So if you're interested in learning more, you can either, shoot me an email at qigonghw.com, or at gmail.com. I'm happy to answer questions in the chat, and I do have information about what that entails on my website as well. I will be adding more Qigong videos to YouTube, and it's either or, maybe both, Qigong tutorials, and then also some maybe 5, 10, 15-minute routines that we can do for more regular practice. In terms of upcoming events, and this is all dependent, of course, upon what's going on. And I'm doing a new moon cacao ceremony with Qigong with Eliza, the Movement Lab director at Movement Lab in Baltimore City. That is April 26th currently at 2 to 5. That's a Sunday. Self-love with Qigong and Spirit. That was the event that Julie and I had initially planned for yesterday at Movement Lab. We have a tentative new date of May 16th on Saturday at 4 to 6 p.m. And I also have a Grow and Flow, Build Your Own Terrarium with Qigong and Meditation workshop with one of my friends who is a Master Gardener intern. She loves plants, so it's definitely a great workshop, and that is also to be determined, but at the very least, free resources for you to use at any time. So thank you again, everybody, for joining today and for dedicating this time for yourself, and hopefully you learn things that you can either implement on your own or you can pass along to others in your community. So thank you again.
Yes, thank you. And I also recorded this, so I'll share it with Sarah so she can put it on her page, and I'll have it on my page too, with our links in the comments so you can find us all easier. Thank you to everybody so much for being here. This was wonderful, and I feel more peaceful than when I started. I was running around myself, like freaked out by the technology part of this, but we figured it out, and I'm so grateful for Sarah and for working with me, and for all of you for being here. So thank you so much, and everybody stay well, stay positive, and return to peace, right?
All right. Thank you all.
Thank
Have a great
you.
rest of your weekend.
Bye, everybody.